Have you heard about discrimination at workplace? Introduction of discrimination. Definition. Discrimination is the act of treating someone differently or unjustly based upon some characteristic. Discrimination is the unequal or unfair treatment of a person based upon some personal characteristic. It is important to note that not all forms of discrimination are legal. Discrimination often happen because people make unfair assumption about what people with certain personal characteristics can and cannot do. Main causes for the discrimination at workplace. Causes for age discrimination. Seeing a pattern of hiring only younger employees. This is often due to unfounded misconceptions about ability, work pace, knowledge, and sociability. An employer's use of the term overqualified may be a sign of age discrimination. It is unlawful for an employer not to hire an experienced older person, based solely on the assumption that they might become bored or dissatisfied and leave the job. Causes for gender or sex discrimination. Job segregation. One of the causes for gender discrimination within employment is the division of jobs. In most societies, there's an inherent belief that men are simply better equipped to handle certain jobs. This discrimination results in lower income for women. Causes for disability discrimination. Insufficient accommodations. People with disabilities often experience difficulty in public places because of a lack of access or accommodation. Employers must provide accommodations for employees to work safely and effectively. Causes for religious discrimination. Physical or verbal abuse, because of religion or belief. It's a criminal offense if employer attack employee because of their religion or belief, or because of their lack of religion. This includes both physical and verbal abuse. Employer is also committing a criminal offense if they stir up hatred of a particular religious group. Causes for racial or ethnic discrimination. Harassment. Harassment is defined as unwanted conduct and must be related to a relevant protected characteristic or be of a sexual nature. It must also have the purpose or effect of violating a person's dignity or creating an intimidating, hostile, degrading, humiliating or offensive environment for that individual. Examples of any discrimination issues at workplace. Firstly, sex or gender discrimination. Gender discrimination, also known as sexual discrimination, is any action that specifically denies opportunities, privileges, or rewards to a person, or a group, because of gender. The practice of letting a person's gender become a factor when deciding who receives a job or a promotion, is gender discrimination. Second, religious discrimination. Religious discrimination involves treating a person, an applicant or employee, unfavorably because of his or her religious beliefs. Employer does not provide time to make accommodations, such as time off for religious observances. It is illegal for employers to discriminate based on an individual's religious customs. Thirdly, age discrimination. Age discrimination in the workplace is the practice of letting a person's age unfairly become a factor when deciding who receives a new job, promotion, or other job benefits. Decisions about terminating employees also cannot be solely based on their age. Employer being discriminate based on applicant's age in the hiring process is unlawful. Disability discrimination. Disability discrimination means treating individuals differently in employment because of their disability, perceived disability, or association with a disabled person. Whether a person's disability is visible or not, treating that person differently, or denying certain accommodations can be against the law. Lastly is racial or ethnic discrimination. Racial discrimination happens when a person receives less favorable treatment than other people due to race. Race discrimination can be direct or indirect. It may also take the form of harassment or victimization. Now let me tell you a scenes about disability discrimination that we will meet in our daily life. This is Sarah. Sarah is a 25-years-old girl who is muted. Due to her disability, she needs to use sign language to communicate with others. Sarah has sent her resume to a new company to apply for an accountant position. After 1 week, the company informed her for the interview. However, on the day of interview,
I am very sorry, Sarah, I have to reject your application. We can't hire you as our company's accountant because of your disability. It may affect our company productivity and reputation.
Sarah is upset and disappointed. The above situation shows that Sarah is facing disability discrimination in a job interview. Next, let me explain about the effects of discrimination to employees and organization. Mental and physical health. Discrimination in the workplace has negative effects on both mental and physical health of the employee. Employees who have experienced discrimination have higher levels of psychological distress and health-related problems than employees who have not. Effects are not limited to physical but also mental effects on the employee include depression, developing anxiety disorders, loss of self-control leading to the employee becoming hostile or even attempting suicide. Commitment, loyalty and turnover. Staff or employees who observe regular discrimination are more likely to leave the business, increasing the company turnover levels. Although some involuntary turnover firing poor performers, for example, is beneficial for the business, if the company's voluntary turnover is high, they will probably losing skilled, competent workers. There are 3 strategies or ways to resolve discrimination at workplace. One of the solution is company policy. Management needs to exert extra efforts in announcing its policy on promoting non-discrimination. Creating a clearly written policy is the first step toward preventing discrimination at work. Every handbook should include a policy on discrimination that every employee receives and signs an acknowledgement of receipt. The second solution will be training. It is extremely imperative to properly train all interviewers and managers to be familiar with discrimination laws. This will help to ensure that during an interview or a meeting between a manager and current employee, subjects that could be construed as discriminating will not be approached.